DevOps is about helping the business win, the business be more successful. And often that means finding ways of getting ideas from the business out to our clients more quickly. So what we do is we look at various phases or activities in how we deliver change, whether that's how we plan what we're going to do, design new solutions, actually do our coding and development, building, deploying, testing, and finally releasing. We look across these stages and look for ways to be more efficient and more effective. Now let's look at this approach through a case study, one we did with NBC Universal. Now, they had an application called the Compass program that took about 20 weeks to get to market. Let's look at some of the changes they made as they performed their DevOps transformation. So this is a long case study, and I want to highlight just a couple elements here. So let's start here. With the Compass program, they had 1,000 tests in the regression suite, and it took 6 to 8 weeks to run those, right? 2 months. What they ended up doing is finding ways to parallelize those test executions. But when they were running those tests, they suddenly needed a lot of machines, right? 50 different test servers, a lot of infrastructure. And they used cloud resources to accomplish that so that they would temporarily spin up 50 machines, run their tests, and then spin them down. What they accomplished here is pretty dramatic in that they went from taking 6 to 8 weeks to taking as little as 3 hours to do this regression suite. Now, there was more to the overall transformation in that when they look at a lot of their build and deployment activities, they would have some scripts, some automation, but a lot of it was manual. All right, someone would manually run the build, someone would manually execute parts of the deployment using some deployment scripts. That combined with all of the testing being in the slow regression test suite resulted in this 20-week time to market. Bringing in that rapid automation with Urban Code build and deploy, doing the transformation of the testing, and then also moving some of the testing from the regression suite over to simple unit tests, which the developers could run at build time. So all helped productivity and let them drive down that time between releases from every 20 weeks to every 5 weeks. Now they're on track to get there every 2 weeks, right? Exactly what you want to see. So coming back to our model, we can see that this case study didn't talk a lot about changes to plan and design in the earlier phases. Did cover a lot of the build, deploy, release elements as well as the testing elements. So by driving down the regression test suite from weeks to hours, right, you could run it overnight now, complementing that with faster feedback to developers, giving them some efficiencies, as well as taking a lot of the slow elements out, automate the build, automate the deployment, remove that friction, no longer need to wait for a Tuesday or Thursday to do the release, and so we can pick up some days there. Now we can run those regression suites often, find the issues more quickly, get them resolved more quickly, and drive down that time to release down to every 5 weeks or every 2 weeks. So we can see how looking across all of this, you can find your bottlenecks. In this case, the regression suite was the biggest one. Move on to your next level of bottlenecks, which might be automating build deploy. And then you get these really dramatic improvements, anywhere from 75% time to market improvement when you get to 5 weeks, towards where they were headed, and 90% improvement in time to market, going from 20 weeks to 2. Right, being able to do 10 times as many releases over the course of a year. So when we look at what tools they used here, in this case, build was Urban Code Build. Deploy and release, Urban Code Deploy was really important there. SkyTap on IBM Cloud really helped generate the infrastructure for those parallel tests, some key elements. Also getting better unit testing and things like that helped on the coding side. Nice improvement, shows how you can hit a couple different areas of DevOps, a couple different tools to make really dramatic improvement. Love this case study. Thank you.